아, 나 이 새끼가 진짜.
Honestly, I've been wondering where to start with all of this because I feel like the situation has gotten so out of control and it's become less of just a Mina problem and now of her fans problem. I think I really needed to get off of social media, like I said, for these couple of days so I can really concentrate on these videos because there've been a lot of distractions, including KYoutubers who've been, writing a lot of shit about me concerning this Mina video. Don't worry, I'll deal with them later on. But right now, I think we need to focus on this case with Mina. Also, it's because I was waiting for her whole interview with the shaman thingies to come on. And there isn't much that adds to the story except there's one important part that I think needs to be discussed. This entire situation with mental health is really getting out of control. And I wanted to say this specifically for Jimin cults who, was saying that we should not expect Mina to behave like a normal person because she has mental health issues. And as soon as somebody shows that they have mental health problems, we start to act differently. And they even liked a comment about someone saying as soon as mental health illnesses stop being quirky, all of a sudden, we don't want it and we don't, it doesn't sound very attractive. But I think we need to have a serious conversation that I've noticed that he and Ajane and is it Shaprism or however it is that you say it, who've deliberately attacked me in my video claim it's because I don't really understand mental health. But it just bothers me that these people have so much shit to say and yet they have very little education on the matter. My mom always says you can tell how much education someone has by how much comes out of their mouth. And these people do not understand that manipulation and mental health problems are not an oxymoron, all right? And if you do enough research, a simple Google research, really, you can find out that mental health issues, especially specifically personality disorders, work hand in hand with manipulation. And this is not just my opinion or anything. These are scientifically proven facts by psychologists and therapists and people who spend decades and decades studying this. I was reading an article when I was doing research for this by Good Therapy, which they were talking about mental health and manipulation. They said that, quote, while most people engage in manipulation from time to time, a chronic pattern of manipulation can indicate an underlying mental health concern. Manipulation is particularly common with personality disorder diagnosis, such as borderline personality disorder or narcissistic personality disorder. Now, I know Shaprism was saying that they have plenty of experience and that they're not just a stan Twitter girl because of it, but I'm just going to make something clear. I've talked about this before. My sister has been diagnosed by an actual psychologist, by the way, and she takes medication for it from severe anxiety and depression. And I, unfortunately, have had the experience of living with someone who has narcissistic personality disorder. Okay, I mentioned this before, and I said that I know what it's like to be psychologically abused. The abuser has narcissistic personality disorder. So when I say that I know what I'm talking about, I know what I'm talking about. The article goes on to say that for many people with borderline personality disorder, manipulation may be a means of meeting their emotional needs or obtaining validation, as it occurs when the person with borderline personality disorder feels insecure and abandoned. As many people with borderline personality disorder have witnessed or experienced abuse, manipulation may have developed as a coping mechanism to get their needs met indirectly. It continues to say individuals with narcissistic personality disorder may have different reasons for engaging in manipulative behavior, as those with narcissistic personality disorder may have difficulty forming close relationships. So they may resort to manipulation in order to, quote unquote, keep their partner in a relationship. Characteristics of narcissistic manipulation may include shaming, blaming, playing the victim, control issues, and gaslighting. So I'm not saying that Mina has borderline personality disorder or narcissistic personality disorder. It's not my place to diagnose her. But I'm trying to kind of breach this gap that a lot of I've noticed a lot of Mina stans don't understand. They think that Mina is incapable of being manipulative because she has mental health issues. And that's just simply not true. There is no scientific study you'll find in the world that will tell you that it's impossible to find a direct link between personality disorders or mental health issues and manipulation. Okay. So that just simply doesn't exist. I know that a lot of you think that your opinions are the only things that matter. And I don't have a problem with people having opinions, but I think your opinions should be based on facts. And that's why I feel like people need to truly understand that there's no such thing as Mina is not manipulative because she has mental health issues. Because I've seen a lot of people going, I cannot believe she's saying that Mina is manipulative when Mina has mental health illnesses. That doesn't prove anything. So I just wanted to clarify that. The second thing that I also want to clarify is that, guys, I understand that Mina is going through shit. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and allow people to walk around and say some dumb stuff like, I act like Mina doesn't have mental health issues. When I say that I want Mina to get help, I mean it. When I say that I have compassion for her problems, I mean it. And this one also goes especially for their subscribers because he challenged me and he said that he could show me that I was victim blaming. And when I gave him both the definition of victim blaming and the definition of accountability, and I pointed out the difference between the two, my comment started getting a lot of likes. He deleted it. So for those of you woke stans trying to tell me that this is victim blaming, I'm going to go off right the limb here and just explain this. First of all, when you say someone is victim blaming, is when they hold the victim partially or totally responsible for the abuse they suffered. I actually have a really good example that happened to me when I was younger. So my dad was in church and he was a church elder at that time. And while he was preaching, God, my dad got so much hate for this. He said, I don't understand why we're walking around and telling women to cover up more and stop walking at night and whatever. And no one seems to be interested in telling men to get some self-control because women were getting sexually assaulted or whatever. And people were pissed at him. They were very angry. And some of the people who were pissed at him were women. Yeah, imagine that. And by the way, this isn't just anywhere. This is a church, right? The place where we believe that everyone is loved and everyone's accepted. And so my dad says this, and now he's an enemy. Somebody gets assaulted, somebody gets raped, and the first question you ask is, well, what were you wearing? Does that matter? Now, when we talk about accountability, is when you hold someone responsible for the things that they themselves have done. What I'm doing with Mina is holding her accountable for the things that she said. They take what Mina says and use it. And this is the same thing that I told the YouTuber Tai Tai Pichi who was trying to get smart with me about my video. They're judging Jimin based on what Mina said. I am questioning Mina based on what Mina herself has said. I'm not using what anyone else has said to question Mina's motives. Okay? And that's something that I need you to understand. I know the difference between victim blaming and victim blaming and holding someone accountable. Okay? There is no asking someone to clarify inconsistencies in their stories is not victim blaming. I can't tell you the number of times I've had people go, oh my gosh, I was completely unaware of what was going on because of all the drama that was surrounding it. And you see, that's the problem with Mina. She's very dramatic and she makes everything so dramatic that you miss the main point of a lot of things that are happening. Like, her story is filled with so much BS. You don't see it because of all the drama that is surrounding it. And right now, even as I speak, I'm trying to figure out, where do I even start? I think I'm just going to start with everything that happened from after I uploaded my video, because there was an incident that happened with Mina that actually was the reason why my video ended up getting so much attention in the first place. So I uploaded my video on the 21st, the first part of this video. By the way, if you're new to the channel, this is the second part. Within a couple of days, I think it had gotten like 5,000 views or something. I remember clearly it was my sister's birthday. And for the next 48 hours, I could not access a family computer at that time. I hadn't gotten my hands on my laptop. And I came back on my Monday evening, to find out that my video had blown up to like 30,000 views. And there was like a host of Mina comments hating on me, saying that I was the reason why Mina tried to end her own life again. So we will start there. We will start with April 22nd. I believe it was April 22nd. when this entire situation happened. Mina posted on her Instagram, I believe, an incident that happened between her and a psychiatric nurse. So Mina was going to the hospital. She was seeing doctors to get help. So it was a good thing. And then, like most things in Mina's life, all of a sudden it wasn't. So according to Mina, this nurse, who was way younger than her, basically made her life difficult at this hospital. And it got to the point where Mina said she couldn't go to the hospital because of this nurse anymore. And what was the list of crimes that this nurse committed? Number 1, she didn't use honorifics with Mina. Number 2, end of list. Yeah, that's just about it. You see, this is the same thing that happened with Jimin. Mina will claim that someone has been absolutely horrendous to her. And then when we ask her what they did, she literally puts nothing on the table. Mina claims that this nurse was speaking to her in a harsh tone or something like that. And she said that the nurse sounded fed up with her. I'm going to go over the limb and say there's some people who've been taught to do their jobs and probably don't know how to do their jobs properly. But seeing how Mina acts in public, I'm starting to wonder if the nurse was tired because Mina's behavior was something else in private. This is Mina's side of the story, by the way, which you need to understand. We only have one side of the story. And the nurse did not exactly have an opportunity to speak her side of the story. We didn't get that. All we got was Mina's side of the story, that this nurse spoke to her like she was fed up. And Mina found this so problematic that she went to go discuss with the doctor. And according to Mina herself, she told the doctor that he needed to fire this nurse. And when the doctor wouldn't do it, Mina walked out on the hospital. And so now I know what you're wondering. What does this have to do with your video? So when Mina posted this online, K netizens were like, no, sis, look, first of all, this was a private issue between you and your nurse. And you're exposing this story about this woman who has no social platform to defend herself on social media to your 1+ million followers. And majority of Mina's followers, you know that they will just react like crazy. She has those people wrapped around her little finger and they will literally react to her every whim. And that's how you know someone is manipulating you. They act, you react. Your reactions in life are based on the way they behave. I mean, think about it. It's been a year since we've heard a thing from Jimin, right? Her social media, her Instagram hasn't been active for a year. Yet Mina says something and all of Mina's fans will rush to Jimin's Instagram to say shit. An Instagram that Jimin hasn't been on, at least to our knowledge, for an entire year. She hasn't posted anything on there. Yet all Mina has to do is say something and all of her fans will rush to Jimin's Instagram that I think at this point almost has like 600,000 comments of people like saying shit about her. That's the controlling relationship that Mina has with her fans. And I don't think her fans realize that they're being controlled and they're being manipulated by this woman. Once again, back to what this has to do with my video. When K netizens reprimanded her and said, look, you cannot put this on social media. This is a private dispute for one. Another, the nurse does not have a place to defend herself. And K netizens started to wonder, wait, do you think this is the same thing that happened with Jimin? Like she got us to ban on Jimin and Seolhyun and the rest of AOA and they couldn't speak up. And so we just, push them in the back burner. So a lot of K netizens are saying, okay, we need to hear Jimin's side of the story because look at what she's done to someone who doesn't have a platform to defend herself. And Mina got very upset. And this is where the manipulation comes in. So Mina ended up uploading a very graphic picture. I will not put it on here. A graphic picture of a wrist that had been slit. And I told you guys in the comment section of that video that was not Mina's wrist. And I stand by that. It isn't. And a lot of people were saying, no, it is her wrist. The one on the one on the Russian Girl website was of lower quality. That is simply not true. Now, for those of you who remember, in August of 2020, exactly like last year, Mina uploaded a picture of her actual wrist that's been slit. Now, we know that Mina has slit her wrist before, okay? This is not like, I'm not trying to deny it. It happened. But the wrist she uploaded and this particular wrist had a major difference. The wrist she uploaded this time around, this year, had a mole on it. Mina's left arm does not have a mole. If you compare the pictures from the picture she uploaded, I'm not gonna do it on here because honestly, like for a lot of people who have issues with blood, I don't have a problem with it. I was able to look at it and I was fine. Wait, does that mean I'm abnormal? But when I compared the two wrists, Mina's wrist has no mole on it. And this wrist she uploaded had a mole on it. It's not Mina's wrist. It isn't. She uploaded a picture of a wrist that isn't hers to try and freak everyone out. Mina has mental health issues. The world knows that. Mina harms herself. The world knows that. And now she's going as far as to take pictures that are not even hers and post them on social media. You've got people who are scrolling through there. Some of her supporters could be people who are afraid of blood or who've also dealt with self-harm and is triggering them. And the fact that there are people who are going as far as to defend this behavior when people are saying she should have put a trigger warning, yes, she should have. Her mental health illness is not going to be used to excuse this. You know what? In fact, I have one better. She shouldn't have posted at all because I know exactly what she was trying to do here. She posted a picture of a wrist that had been slit that's not hers to scare everybody because she knows that the world knows that she struggles with suicidal issues and she harms herself. She did this to control people. When people do not do what Mina wants, she'll do something crazy. The doctor refused to fire the nurse, so she decided to leave the hospital altogether. As if the hospital needs her, when she's the one who needs help. When Jimin wouldn't acknowledge that she bullied her, Mina destroyed her career. And also exposed her sex life in the process. Do you see what happens here? Whenever Mina does not get what she wants, she will destroy somebody. And this is the same thing with the nurse. She wanted to cost this woman her job because this woman was not behaving the way Mina wanted. Mina claims that even the whole hospital agreed with her, which I don't understand. When does she have time to walk around and talk to all the other nurses and doctors about this one particular nurse? Have you noticed that this is her behavior? It's the same thing that she said. She said all of AOA agreed with her that Jimin was mean to her and that Jimin should leave AOA and that she should stay. There's the biggest joke of the century. They're going to exchange a talented member for one who's got nothing but visuals? Why is that Mina is always walking around and doing little clicks and gossiping about people? Because if there's anything, Mina has proven that she talks shit about people more than anything else. She talked crap about her sister in front of strangers on her Kakao chat. She said that she talked to the other members and was, talking to them and they were talking shit about Jimin altogether. And then she also turned around and now she's saying that the whole hospital agreed with her that this nurse was rude or disrespectful or whatever. I mean, she outed the nurse to use the public's sympathy as a weapon. So after uploading this picture, a lot of people freaked out, and I think my video found its way to Reddit. At first, originally, I thought it was Twitter, but it was Reddit, and all of her crazy minions came to my video and started reporting it, and saying all sorts of things. By the way, a lot of people have been saying that the video is constantly asking them if they want to watch the video or to confirm like 11 times. So just a little advice: when you go on the video and it asks you the first time around to confirm, just wait till the comments load. If the comments have loaded, then click confirm. It's not going to bother you anymore. So that's just a little tip if you want to watch the video. So they reported my video several times and it's been flagged as inappropriate by YouTube. Yes, the truth is inappropriate these days. Yay, 2021 is doing great job for us. We have the coronavirus and people are allergic to facts. So that's how my video ended up getting all this attention. And that's how I guess I became blamed for Mina's problem, people acting as if Mina watched my video. And you know what, to be honest, even if she did, the fact of the matter is my video was filled with facts that Mina cannot run away from. So there's that. So that's how the situation with the nurse went by. So she has ruined AOA. She almost ruined this nurse's career. And once the situation with this nurse had come about and people started to question her, she did what she does best. Divert the conversation to Jimin. I want you to notice how many times she does this. Whenever she's involved in a controversy and people are sick and tired of her BS, she will direct the conversation to Jimin. The whole thing with the nurse happened possibly end of April. Beginning of May, she had already started again talking about, I was bullied by Jimin and this, that, and the third, and I tried so hard, and I thought maybe if I worked hard, then Jimin would have no reason to hate me. Really? Because your 3 vocal lessons didn't really say that. Your skipping practice didn't really say that. You wanted to prove to Jimin that you could work hard by skipping dance practice and ignoring your lessons? Because we covered this, by the way, in case, you're still delusional. Mina said that she's only taken 3 vocal lessons in her whole career. It's just the strangest thing. And so once again, with this situation, when people stop feeling sorry for her and her shenanigans, she starts diverting the conversation straight back to Jimin again. She cannot help herself because she knows bringing up her 10 years of bullying is the only thing that keeps her taking people's sympathy. That's the only time she can get people's sympathy, is if she keeps bringing up Jimin and all the horrible things that she did to her. After that, she started insisting that she wanted to talk to Jimin one-on-one. We need to talk, this, that, and the third. You did this to me. You did that to me. We need to talk. And I think that's another thing that also bothers me about Mina, is the fact that she keeps being very insistive that she wants to talk to Jimin. It's the strangest thing on the planet. And I want you to listen to her message, okay? She says, whenever any mention of you comes up, all I can do is cry. I am never going to stay silent like other victims do. It's either I'm going to get better as time passes. Honey, it's been 10 years. I don't know. And I'm going to live well doing what I love, or I'm going to live trapped in these traumatic memories of Jimin forever in pain, and I'm going to disappear if I can't take it anymore. Are you listening to this? Are y'all listening? Y'all hearing the same thing that I'm hearing, right? Whatever the case it ends up being, I just need to talk to you one-on-one. You know my contact info. If you're human, if you're a human and you treated me that way for over 10 years, don't ignore this message. Try and come up with any stories you can and fight back against me. She wants a fight. Do you see that? Try to say anything about what I did to you. I'm confident. When I think about how much I suffered at your hands, I am amazed that I am not dead from severe stress. Now, this entire situation, she said that she'd been trying to contact Jimin. Jimin doesn't want to talk to her, and honestly, I can't blame her, because if I were Jimin, I wouldn't want to talk to her either. And she's insisting that Jimin won't speak to her. She has said that she tried to call Jimin several times, and Jimin is not picking up, and she thinks Jimin has changed her number, which, Jimin, if you've changed your number, good on you, girl. Because you need to stay as far away from Mina as possible. It's like my sister said, I can't imagine the misfortune of knowing Mina personally. Like, it's just not something that you want to do. And she keeps insisting right now, she's talking about her emotions. And you see, whenever the mention of your name comes up, all I can do is cry. I'm not going to stay silent like other victims do. When I think I'm going to live trapped in this traumatic memories of Jimin forever in pain. Do you see what's going on here? She's maximizing her pain so y'all can buy this. Every time she addresses Jimin, there's next to zero facts in any of her stories. Like, okay, Jimin did this to me. She did this to me. There was an incident where we had a conversation. She said this, or there was an incident where she did this. Every single time, it's always about her many, many, many emotions and her many, many feelings and this, that, and the third. It's always about her emotions and feelings, and emotions move people, but emotions can also manipulate. On the second, what I talked about, this message that I read, that was on the 1st of May. Now we're on the 2nd of May. Oh yeah, it says this happens within like a space of days. She said, when I was a trainee, she ordered me to do errands such as getting her water. And she would repeatedly hit me on the chest with her fist and curse at me. I suffered unexplained seizures because of Jimin, and I was taken to the hospital. I would faint without a reason, and I was diagnosed with cervical cancer dysplasia. Jimin's fans keep driving me to be the perpetrator. So this is another thing that we need to talk about, the cervical cancer situation. So she said that Jimin is the reason
why she had the cervical cancer dysplasia. And then she goes on and says, my HPV is not sexually transmitted. It's from stress from Jimin. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. I'm getting heated like listening to this garbage. You do not get HPV from stress. You get HPV from intercourse or physical contact from someone who has it. This is bullshit. She said the doctor told her that she got that cervical cancer because of stress. And according to Mina, all of the stress comes from Jimin. I mean, never mind her insanely abusive father in the past, never mind the sexual assault she suffered, never mind the rape. All of the stress she has is because of Jimin. Now, here's the thing. So I did my research because I was thinking, okay, what kind of doctor let's just say she was right? I wanted to consider all possibilities. So I, simple Google search, is there a relation between stress and depression and HPV related problems? So this article was written by the American Academy of Pediatrics, It was dated to April 30, 2016. New research suggests that stress and depression play a significant role in whether a woman with HPV can get rid of her infection or not. HPV that lingers in a woman's system eventually can lead to cervical cancer. So I'm guessing this doctor said to her, this cancer that you have is due to your HPV, and chances are you haven't been able to get rid of it because of so much stress and depression. And Mina said that she's been diagnosed with severe depression, yes? So I'm guessing this doctor told her this. And then Mina walked around and told people that Jimin is the reason why she got an HPV virus. Okay, let's search it. HPV is mostly common in women who have sexual relations before they are 20 years old. Now, I'm not saying Mina is promiscuous. Let's try not to forget Mina mentioned that she has been raped in the past, yes? So chances are this is how she got the HPV, right? If this has happened, if it happened before she was 20 years old. So the stress and the depression is the reason why she's not been able to get rid of the infection. So there's a direct link, according to doctors and medical research, that stress and depression play a significant role in whether a woman with HPV can get rid of the infection. And if she can't get rid of it, then it lingers long enough, it becomes cervical cancer. So when the doctor tells her this, I'm going to assume she said, Jimin is the reason why I have cervical cancer. It's all her fault. I have an HPV and it's all because of... You see, her doctor tells her that her body cannot fight the HPV because of stress. She's telling people that she got HPV from stress with Jimin. That's not even remotely accurate. That's not even close to accurate. I know this woman is not blaming HPV on Jimin. This is something that you get from intercourse. Like, what? Are you for real? Like, I know this woman's not sitting around and really blaming her HPV on Jimin right now. Maybe you were shocked because for some reason she can't seem to handle facts. And don't even get me started on the fact that now we're back again in May. And she does not stop continuing to just question Jimin and, all over her social media telling her, you need to talk to me. You need to contact me. In fact, Mina even admitted that the bloody picture that she posted, she did that so, quote, Jimin's friends could see it and tell her about it. This girl is obsessed with Jimin. Jimin has been gone for a year now, and she's all over social media telling her, you need to talk to me, and you need to do this, and you see this slit wrist, and now, you need to... And now you need to tell her that this is what's happening so she can talk to me. She is trying to rope Jimin into talking. And Jimin has been doing a good job staying silent, and sis better stay that way because it's really benefiting her in the long run. And she even got to the point where Mina also mentioned that she hated Jimin. And she said she hated Jimin so much that she wanted absolutely nothing to do with her. She said everything that has to do with Jimin is bad and evil, and she wants nothing to do with it. So much so that she started following Hazy and Cheetah on Instagram. Now, Hazy and Cheetah are well-known artists, amazing artists, by the way. Hazy makes I just recently got into her music. She makes some of the most amazing music, like in K-pop, right? And Cheetah is very close with Jimin. Like, everybody knows this. And Mina was following these two women. These two women are very close with Jimin. And by the way, they still follow Jimin on Instagram, regardless of everything that's came out, all of this. They still follow Jimin. Jimin's celebrity friends, they are still following her. And some of them who were following both her and Mina have actually unfollowed Mina, and they're still following Jimin. So, I mean, for people who know them personally, that says a lot, right? So she follows them on Instagram. They're not following her back. They're still following Jimin, and she's following them. Yet she said she hates everything about Jimin and she wants nothing to do with Jimin's life. So why are you following her best friends? Like, that's just my only question. It's a little bit creepy. Like, I would say, okay, if she had followed Hazy, maybe she just likes Hazy's music, because the time she followed her, Hazy had just, and I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong, her name wrong, by the way, but Hazy had just released music. She just had a comeback. So, of course, you know, it makes sense that she'd follow her. But Cheetah? Really? Everybody knows how she and Jimin are close. But how does that work? It's like saying I hate my sister and then I'm following and I'm being friends with her bestie. Like, that doesn't make any amount of sense to me. So for someone who recently, I'm talking about a few days prior, she was insisting that Jimin needs to talk to her and stop ignoring her, and Jimin doesn't respond, and then she turns around and starts following her friends on Instagram. This is obsessive behavior. She's obsessed with Jimin. I believe this was the day before Chanmi's birthday, and you'll notice a pattern here. Whenever something that involves the members of AOA happens, Mina always does some weird shit. So this is the day before Chanmi's birthday, which was on my birthday, by the way. You know, I'm just trying to mind my own business. When I have subscribers telling me, oh, did you hear what Mina says? Mina claimed that Jesus Christ. She is all better because she went through shamanistic rituals. Yeah, Mina had been seeing shamans. And apparently these shamans, dear God. And she said that these shamans told her that there were demons and spirits of the dead and acquaintances in heaven with, oh dear God, etc. were all, she said, and I quote, she said that there were demons, spirits of the dead, acquaintances in heaven, etc. were all inside me, and that I was living with them in me. That is why I harm myself and try to kill myself. Oh, God help me. God help me. She claimed that these exorcisms helped her, and now she is just, quote unquote, all better. Yeah. And then she said that all those symptoms of passing out and fainting, they went away, and she no longer feels like harming herself, and that she is fine now. Oh, she does one better even. She says that Jimin visited her in her dreams, yeah, and apologized to her. So there's that. Oh, Jesus Christ, Lord have mercy. Is this woman walking around and telling people that now that she's had an exorcism, all of her self-harming is going away? Now, of course, nobody bought this. Like, people didn't buy it. They were like, okay, give it like a week before we see another Jimin ruined my life and I want to get another apology. Like, in fact, there's just one comment really saying, I really hope she's better. But in reality, I give it about 10 days before the next quote, Jimin ruined my life and I want to see her and I want to get another apology post. And I actually mentioned this even on my community tab. I said it's only going to be a matter of time. And so, you know, once again, Jimin. So this is June 18th when she's saying all of this, right? So now we've all of us have forgotten about Chanmi's birthday. Now we're focused on Mina and her shaman bullshit. And so we have less than 10 days after that, Mina is involved in a serious controversy, and this is where the cheating scandal comes in. Now, for those of you who don't know what the cheating scandal is, oh God, it's a long story. So Mina posted a picture of herself and a man, and they were in bed together. She just kind of took the picture and posted it. So everybody was like, oh my God, she's in love. You know, that is awesome. Like, we're so happy for her. And in my mind, I was thinking, you know what? Maybe she can have something else to concentrate on now. She has a boyfriend, right? And child, I can't even begin. It's been 24 hours. I think it was less than 24 hours before all of this came out. Yeah. And then somebody made a post. And the post came from the best friend of that. His current boyfriend he goes by you. Okay. So that's what we're just going to call him. And the best friend of his ex-girlfriend put a Nate pun post and said that Mina's boyfriend was cheating on her best friend with Mina. And in this situation, the friend said that apparently Mina contacted him first via DM, right? And Instagram. And then she also claimed that Mina knew that he had a girlfriend and that this boyfriend texted his ex-girlfriend sorry, and he's not responding to any of her calls or messages. And so they were publicly dating. Mina knew about this and she got involved with him anyway. Oh, Jesus. She said that the two of them were dating. They'd been dating since 2018. They were living together in April of 2019. But on June 10th of this year, 2021, Mina contacted him. All right. That is the story. She contacted him and the two of them kind of got together. Now, there's a DM image. There's a picture that the picture was taken. According to the ex-girlfriend of this guy, she has a screenshot that proves that Mina was aware that he was in a relationship. The reason why she had this screenshot is because her boyfriend is an artist, as far as I know, and Mina asked him for some artwork, and she also complimented his girlfriend. So in the images that you're seeing right now, the DM that's going on, she said, and I quote, "You look so good with your girlfriend. Can you also draw me your weird love/sex picture when it's done, I'll come get it." So Mina is very much aware that this man is in a relationship. She complimented him and his girlfriend. So Mina was aware that this man was in a relationship. And what makes it even worse is that this girlfriend, and she has images, like of her and you chatting and talking. And in these conversations where they're talking, in that time, when he was with Mina while they were chatting, he's talking to her like everything's normal. Like everything's normal. So I was like, "Did you get up? Yes, I'm tired. I have a meeting. Oh my gosh, I'm this and that. I want to go see my friends. LOL. I miss you. Are you my seniors and I are drinking?" He's telling her that I've gone to see all my seniors and we're drinking and we're having a great time, when in reality, he's at home with Kwon Mina. So this man is lying to his girlfriend about where he's at. He's with Mina the entire time. And he's apparently he told Mina that his relationship with his girlfriend wasn't going well, except the text messages seemed like they were having a good time, really. Like they're texting each other back and forth. So this girl was like, "So Mina's, this is not okay, right?" So this becomes a big deal. Mina responded. And she said that, the truth was the boyfriend contacted her first, giving her a message of support. So a year before Mina responded, when this whole situation came out, the boyfriend sent a DM to Mina, which is true. He did contact her first, a year prior, giving her a message of support like most, people do, their fans and whatever. So I'm guessing that Mina had like a lot of messages and she didn't get to that message specifically on time or something like that. That's just my assumption. I don't know. And then a year later, she finds this message, responds, and then the two of them start talking, going back and forth. And she said that, quote, "I knew he had a girlfriend, but he was already struggling with her and had other common issues that we started talking about and started having feelings for each other. But why would I date someone with a girlfriend? He said that he would break up with her since they already fight a lot. And I told him that I'd date him if he broke up with her." Okay, now this is going to be interesting. I'm telling you this because it's going to be important when news statement comes out, right? And she said that he tried to talk to her. She tried to contact the girlfriend now, since this whole situation is public. But the girlfriend doesn't want to talk to her, and the girlfriend is really, really upset. I wonder why. And she felt like her boyfriend is being dragged into this witch hunt situation because, I'm a celebrity and my non-celebrity boyfriend is getting attacked, blah, blah, blah. Ugh, God, rolling my eyes. And she said that, "I don't know what he said with his girlfriend, but I trust him." So she said the first statement that she contacted the boyfriend first was a lie, which is true. So what they didn't know was that the boyfriend actually had contacted Mina before. So that wasn't true. And she said, statement 3 is also completely false, which the friend had said that he texted her sorry and he's not responding to anything. And Mina saying it's not true because they're the ones trying to contact the girlfriend and the girlfriend's not talking to her, and I can't even. I mean, and then she goes on to claim that she's never dated a cheater before. By the way, please keep this statement in mind. I've never dated a cheater. Please keep it in mind because it's going to come necessary real soon. First of all, we need to clarify that there's something called emotional cheating, in case you've never heard of it. Cheating doesn't always mean that you sleep with somebody else you're not in a relationship with while you're in a relationship with someone else, okay? What they were going through is what you call emotional cheating. That is emotional cheating. So this is when the public really was like, okay, this is effed up. This is not okay. This is K-netizens now complaining about how she talked about, Jimin bringing men to the dorm, and she talked about Jimin's sex life, and now there was the nurse, and then there was this. So people started kind of reaching their limit with her issues now. And a lot of people started saying, okay, look, now I'm starting to feel bad for Jimin. Now, of course, this whole thing was just absolutely insane. Mina did start getting hate comments, which is not okay, of course, and I would never condone. Everybody started questioning everything. Like, why are you in a relationship with a man who's dating? Oh my God. Are we are we having a spiritual awakening? Was Jimin not the problem or whatever? And there were some people who were even saying that there were people who said this, and Mina brought this up, that there were people who said you are going to attempt suicide to try and bring hate to your boyfriend. Now, I am not a fan of people saying this, but the accuracy in this statement is terrifying. Mina has become so predictable, people can even tell what she's about to do. Yeah, there were people who told her that if she and her boyfriend break up, she's definitely going to try to take her own life and make it look like everything was his fault. And you know what? That is exactly what's happened. So Mina made another long post, of course, where she screeched about how she's not a pathological liar and people are attacking me. And I'm being attacked because I'm a celebrity. That's what she's screeching about. One thing that is very interesting, and I need you to read this with me, okay? You with me? The ex's father threatened me. Why? Am I not saying that what I did was good? But why should the father of the ex be allowed to tell me that he'll kill me? Mina is saying that her boyfriend's ex's father contacted her and threatened to kill her. That's what she said. The text I got from the ex's father is so shocking. Of the post, I kind of understand, since your daughter's hurt. I understand that you can say really strong words. If my father were alive, hey, do you hear that? If my father were alive, he would be so sad. The same father who beat you to a pulp. Okay, sure. But that text was really scary to me and my boyfriend. Both he and I don't have fathers, but we both have mothers, and every child is precious to their mother. Please don't threaten me. Why is Mina bringing up her dead father into this? Do you see this manipulation that I'm telling you? She runs over to emotions to cover up the facts. The fact is, you're with a cheating ass fuckboy, and you was with him, and he did not break up with his girlfriend. You pursued a relationship with him, and you knew that he was dating, and you knew that he was in a relationship. You pursued having a relationship with him instead. And now you're walking around and talking about every child is precious to their mother. Is Jimin included in this equation? Because Jimin doesn't have a father as well. You do know that, right? I cannot believe for the life of me this girl is bringing up the fact that both her boyfriend and her do not have fathers to try and justify this mess, saying that this girl's father should not have contact, which, by the way, we do have to clarify because it it isn't true. Now, this girlfriend said that she contacted Mina through DMs and they had a conversation in which Mina told her that they got close and he was about to break up with her anyway. So, yeah, what's your problem? Right? And this girlfriend responds and goes, it doesn't make any sense that you two would post a picture of each other on your Instagram while he still has pictures of me up on his Instagram. You see, Mina claims that when her relationship with this boyfriend started, there wasn't a problem, that the two of them weren't even together anymore. So it wasn't an issue. Yet when she posted this picture, this man still had pictures of himself and his girlfriend on his Instagram. Mina follows his Instagram. She knows that. Yet she kept the pictures. And that's why the girlfriend said that she was having a hard time believing what Mina was saying. This is a big situation. And she keeps telling this girl that your friends are, I did not know. I did not check his Instagram. I didn't know that your pictures were there. He just told me you were out of the picture and that's all that matters. And now your friends are coming on my Instagram and speaking to me without honorifics. It's like, bitch, who cares about honorifics right now? Like, respect doesn't even seem to matter. Anyway, by the way, the girl did speak to me now in honorifics. So honestly, I don't think it matters that her friends are not even using them. I understand the importance of honorifics, and we have them in my country as well. But like, at this moment, that's not the most important thing. And now there's also proof this girlfriend now also released proof that her father didn't even contact Mina at all. He never had anything to do with her. He never said anything to her at all. She said he doesn't even know who she is. Her father sent a text to the boyfriend, but he never threatened him or cursed at him. There were heated words that were exchanged, yes. He was upset that his daughter was being cheated on and they exchanged heated words, but he never threatened. In fact, if you look at all these where her father is talking to him, telling him to take down the post and telling him that he's really stupid, which, to be honest, in my personal opinion, I think this father is being generous, because let me tell you something. If a man had publicly cheated on me like that, my father doesn't do messages. That's all I'm saying. So this man is really being like, is telling him like he needs to take down the post and take down the picture and everything. There is evidence that this man did not threaten Mina at all. He didn't call her a slut. He didn't say anything. Mina is lying on someone's father, saying that he called her a slut and that he threatened to kill them. And there is no proof that her father did that. Mina did not release any DMs or messages or anything to prove that. She just said stuff. She just said stuff. And everybody believes her. Mina lies on people, you guys. She lies all the time. This woman had the audacity to lie and tell people that this father was threatening her and how this is so difficult for her and her boyfriend because both of them don't have their fathers to come and protect them while he's slut-shaming her and whatnot and whatnot. I cannot believe this girl has the audacity to lie about things like this, talking about he's a gangster and that's. And then after it, was proven that Mina was lying, she deleted all of the posts where she addressed the whole thing with the boyfriend, with the whole thing with the girlfriend. Once the situation stopped, she deleted all of the posts and then she came up with a new post. And do you want to guess what the post was about? Go ahead, guess. Just guess. I'm going to be premiering this, so go ahead in the live chat. Just guess what she started talking about. Yeah, you got it right. She started talking about Jimin again. This is like her favorite new thing now. Every time she does something shitty and the public goes, okay, you done fucked up, she turns around and be like, okay, so Jimin bullied me. Oh my God, girl, please. No, stop it. Why do you always have to bring Jimin every time you screw up? What does Jimin have to do with anything? Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I can't even. So then now she decided that she is going to blame everything on the ex-boyfriend. She said that he's the one. Yeah, she broke up with the guy, by the way. She said, according to her, that she believed him when he said that he broke up with the girlfriend. She also said that she was sorry to the ex-girlfriend. She didn't know that he was playing them both, and that she apologized. And she said that I am, and please understand this. She said, and I quote, "Here's proof that I apologized to the girlfriend. Yeah. Since you're calling me a crazy liar. Although I haven't apologized to her publicly, I definitely DM'd her. And when I post a video, I am going to talk about this issue only. Remember the statement. I know there's a lot of things you need to remember, okay? But remember this statement specifically. She said, I am going to talk about this issue only. So that's what she wanted to say. She said she wanted to post a video on Insta Live where she talked about this. And what bothered people the most about this proof that she DM'd people was that she DM'd the girl's public name. She did not blur out this girl's name. She didn't blur out this girl's name in the DMs. And a lot of people were like, Mina, remove her name. Like, she's going to get a lot of hate from your many, many minions. You need to remove your name. And she left that post there for like 20 whole minutes before she took it down and re-uploaded it. And then she even said that she apologized. She said, about your father being a gangster, I'm sorry. I judged you only after listening to your boyfriend and not listening to you. So this girl is once again claiming that the ex-boyfriend told her that this girl's father is a gangster. First, everything was Jimin's fault. Then it became the ex-girlfriend's fault. And now it's the boyfriend's fault. And how much accountability does Mina take for this? Exactly. Zip. Nada. She takes absolutely no responsibility. And you can tell there was a weird intention with this situation because the entire time they were talking back and forth, she just kept asking and asking and asking this man about his girlfriend. She wanted him to end things with his girlfriend. Like, she just kept asking about his girlfriend every 5 minutes. Maybe we could meet. Maybe we could go for a drink. Maybe you guys could rent out a villa right next to me. Maybe you could, like, she was so damn obsessed with his girlfriend. Like, it's the weirdest thing. But what really kind of messed everything up is a particular post which she ended up taking down as soon as people started bringing this up. And he had talked about his personal history. Mina said, and I quote, when I got the call that my dad was about to pass, he looked so small. He died 5 minutes after I got there, and the doctors pronounced him dead. Mina said that in her original post, she couldn't be with her father because of Jimin when he died. Mina was there. And when people started pointing this out, she deleted the picture. She took down the whole post. So now this entire situation blows up. The public is having a hard time putting up with her bullshit. And she then apologized and she said, look, I'm sorry. I didn't know about this situation. The boyfriend told me things that weren't true and I bought all of them. So I'm just going to talk about everything on my Insta Live. Mina made an Insta Live to clarify everything that happened with the girlfriend. She did. She said that she had broken up with the boyfriend, apologized to the girlfriend, and everything was fine. And then she go ahead and get just go ahead and guess. Yeah, you're right. She brought up Jimin again, except this time around she brought up something that was completely uncalled for. Mina said, and I quote, there is a member who likes to have sex. I cannot believe for the life of me this woman had the audacity to talk about the sex life of other people. She said that there was a member in the group that liked having sex. Are you serious? This is insane. Like, she comes on here and she really said there's a member who really likes having sexual intercourse. Yes, Mina, that person, and like, I don't know how many more other people in the world, as far as I'm aware, unless there's something else that I should know about, sex is supposed to be enjoyable. And liking sex isn't a bad thing. But Mina said it in a slut-shaming way. You see, this is ridiculous. Mina is being called out for her bullshit of being involved with a man who's in a relationship, and now she's walking around and twisting everything to try and slut shame the other members and slut shame Jimin to get the heat off of her. That is disgusting. And in my personal opinion, if you don't see that as manipulation, I don't know what you're gonna see as manipulation. I don't know what will convince you that this is manipulation. She's being called out by people for being in a relationship with a man who was dating, actively pursuing him, and constantly asking about his girlfriend, and she knew he was in a relationship, but she actively pursued him. And now when she goes in to apologize because she's in the wrong and everyone is refusing to buy her victim mentality, she goes on and starts bringing up Jimin's sex life. For what? For what? This is disgusting. You're trying to slut shame somebody else? I cannot believe for the life of me. And you know, the funny thing is she just said there's a member who likes having sex. This woman knows what she's doing, right? So now she's got the whole world trying to speculate. Is it Seolhyun? Was she talking about Yuna? Is it Chanmi? No. Is it Jimin? Is it whatever? And then on her next post, someone goes, I cannot believe it. There's articles now of people trying to harassing the members of AOA, talking about which member likes sex more. And guess what was Mina's response? Oh, that was Jimin. That is diabolically evil. The smugness in that statement alone. She goes, oh yeah, I was just talking about Jimin. What the fuck is this bullshit right now? I can't even. What is this? The amount of smugness this woman has in the, oh yeah, I was just talking about Jimin. That is just pure evil. That is rotten to the core type of evil. She said there's a member who really likes having sex, knowing that a lot of people are going to speculate about it. And then when she's done, she's like, oh, yeah, I was talking about Jimin. Liking sex is not a bad thing. It's not a crime. But she did it with the malicious intent of slut shaming to get the heat off of her. Like, oh, you think I'm a bad person for being in a relationship with someone who cheated? Well, there's a member who really likes having sex. That is disgusting. You know, all these questions are coming up. Well, why did you talk about Seolhyun in your suicide note then? And she said that it's because Seolhyun was quote unquote a bat. And this comes from Aesop's fables. Like, I swear, it's been like forever since I read those. But the bat was, the animal that couldn't be differentiated whether it was a bird or it was an animal. And when there was war between the birds and the animals, what the bat would do was it would switch sides to whichever side was winning. So if the animals were winning, it identified as an animal. If the birds were winning, it identified it as a bird. So basically, she's saying that she's disloyal. She said that she's doing this because she's disloyal. And we're like, oh, okay, well, she's disloyal. You know, why don't you tell us? What did she do? Like, what would you'd like to know? And she was like, well, it's because Seolhyun, she, she's famous now and she used to care about me, but now she doesn't. And she's got a big company and she's doing big things. And, she's ignored me or whatever. So your biggest issue with Seolhyun is that she's successful? That's your major problem. That's why she's a bat. Because she's successful. This is, oh my God, this is so ridiculous. I don't even know where to start. And this is what I was trying to tell y'all. This girl is jealous. There is nothing more to it. She's jealous. Think about it. I mean, is this a coincidence? She leaves AOA in 2019, right? She doesn't say a thing about what happened. AOA joins Queendom. And they're starting to gain more popularity again. People are starting to pay more attention to them. And I mean, even as someone who wasn't even a fan of AOA, like I knew of their music, yes, because, I'd watch all these videos that were talking about K-pop songs, 100 K-pop songs that every K-pop stan should know and things like that, right? So, of course, AOA has got some very legendary songs, They had gone to Queendom and they were starting to get some more popularity, right? And all of a sudden, she comes up with this story, right? And then once again, she says, I'm going to, like, with this whole situation with the boyfriend, she leaves. And then she says that I am going to quietly reflect. She did for about 2 weeks before Haejung and I believe it was Chanmi posted a dance cover. So Chanmi, ever since the situation came out, Chanmi stopped being active on her YouTube channel. So she was gone forever. And this is very interesting. This is very interesting. And this is why I need you to see this. Someone had commented and said, you know what, they were over it and they wanted, I believe they said Seolhyun and Chanmi or Haejung and Chanmin to come back to the industry and that they did not deserve what they suffered. To which Mina responded, we'll see. So basically, so help me God, these girls move on with their life. I will see to it that they don't. Do you see the problem here? Do you see what's going on here? This girl has a problem with the other girls being successful. And every time something happens, she just has to do some shit, right? When Yuna officially ended her contract with AOA, she posted her first happy picture. And everybody's like, oh, she's so happy and whatever, right? Chanmi's birthday comes up. And we've got this whole thing with exorcism and the shamans and this, that, and the third, right? With the boyfriend scandal, right? Everything comes up about the boyfriend scandal. She's embarrassed and now she's going to slut shame Jimin by trying to talk about Jimin's sex life. It is ridiculous. And now Seolhyun has a YouTube channel And this girl really then tried to pull, oh, Jesus Christ. She tried to pull some. So July 6th, she goes, I'm going to quietly reflect. Goodbye. Right? I'm leaving social media. July 12th, 6 days later, she updates her Instagram bio and she goes, I will clarify everything that happened with you and Jimin. Oh, Jesus. So she took a break for 6 days. Then she took another break that lasted about 16 days. July 28th, she's back. She's done reflecting with a handwritten apology, apologizing, saying that I know I said that I would stay off of social media and whatever. The apology was absolutely unnecessary because we did not expect you to stay off of social media anyway. So don't even bother apologizing. Girl, please. And now in her statement, she goes, quote, I started at FNC in March of 2017. And for 10 years, I was subjected to profanity and violence. If Jimin treated all the members the same, I would not have called myself a victim. Other members agreed that Jimin was especially mean to me. She goes on and says that about Jimin, preventing her from seeing her father. She says, quote, I was so busy because of Like a Cat promotion, which, by the way, just so you know, 27 out of 33 of the schedules, she wasn't even there, just to put that out there. So I did not have many opportunities. And when I saw the skeletal features of my dad, I couldn't forget that image. At the waiting room at Inkigayo, while I was doing my hair, I remembered my dad and a tear fell out. Then Jimin, listen to this, okay? Oh my God. Then Jimin took me to the changing room and said, why are you making everyone feel uncomfortable? And I told her that I cried because of my father. Jimin was such a scary person. Did Mina not say that the first time around that Jimin locked her in a closet? She said Jimin dragged her into a closet and locked her in there and yelled at her. Now, all of a sudden, she simply took her to the changing room. Girl, this girl be changing her statements more than people change underwear. Like, what is this? She goes on to say that when I got the call that my father was passing away soon, my father was already as good as dead, and the respirator flatlined shortly afterwards. And I think if you want to say that I was with my father at his death, I should have at least spent 30 minutes with him. That is what it means to be with someone at their death. Wouldn't you blame Shin Jimin in my shoes? You were there when your father passed away, so I mean, I don't know. And the next statement, she says, I was working the whole time because of Modern Farmer filming. That was the drama she was on during Like a Cat era. I only missed Like a Cat stages because I was filming. But they were never considerate of the fact that my father was sick. I got 3 days from the funeral. Now, there's a list of episodes, and I'll find this list of all the length of the time of the that Mina was showing in those episodes. Majority of them were like 2 to 6 minutes. Okay? Mina had plenty of time to see her father, and she's really trying to make it sound like this is a problem. Also, if the drama is the real reason why she couldn't see her father, FNC gave her time off because she had a drama, correct? The drama didn't give her time off because she needed to see her father. She could have seen her father. Average screen time this woman was getting was at least 6 minutes. So if the drama people are the reason why you can't see your father, why is this Jimin's problem? You see, this is why I keep asking why any of this is Jimin's problem, because for some reason, it doesn't seem to make any amount of sense to me that for some reason Jimin is being blamed for all of this. Like, how is this Jimin's problem if the cast and the directors and those responsible for Modern Farmer weren't quote unquote allowing you to see your father? Statement 3. I never said that I was bullied by the team. I said that Jimin was an aggressor and I called the other members bystanders. The word bully came from the reporters. I never used it. Remember this. And it's true that I got along with other members, especially Haejung and Yuna. Just before I left, I had drinks with everyone except Jimin and Seolhyun. They all wondered why Jimin was mean to me. And at the cafe in our dorm, everyone, including Seolhyun, said bad things about Jimin, and they all wanted me to stay with AOA. So the only thing I've gotten from here is that you like gossiping. You like talking shit about other people behind their backs. We did that with Jimin. You did that with your sister. Why am I not surprised? I mean, seriously. So where's the proof that Jimin's a bully? And also, why does Mina like talking for the other members? Like, it pisses me off so much. The reason why I call the other members bats and bystanders was because I felt betrayed. On that day, Yuna called me asking if she could bring Jimin if she wanted to apologize, right? She said Cho and the other members were already at her house. So I said, yes, they took forever to get to my place, like that matters. And Jimin brought the other managers who were close to her, and then the knife situation. For those of you who don't remember, she said that Jimin pulled out a knife and threatened to kill herself. And all the other members who hated Jimin with me were all on Jimin's side. You see, this is the problem with Mina. It has to be about sides all the time. And they all left with Jimin when they left. And several years later, we talked to another member, and she said that I was just business to them. Number 4, the fact that I refuse a police investigation. You all know that Mina refused a police investigation, right? There's proof of that. Mina's fans requested an investigation in her place. She turned it down, and the company said the reason why they did it was because of her mental health. Okay, so we know all of this, right? So now you listen. I didn't have any evidence, and it cost $10,000 for a lawyer. And the most I could get back was $1,500 to $3,000. So is it worth it to put somebody who abused you for 10 years behind bars? Yeah, I think so. The hell? And also, she said I didn't have any evidence. I'm sorry. Is this the same person who told us that she had evidence? No. She said, and I quote, your side of the story doesn't matter because I have 1 million stories and I have witnesses and I have evidence. She told us she had witnesses and evidence, and now she's telling us she doesn't have any evidence. And just you wait, this is not the last time she talks about evidence because she'll screw herself again. But now I know that there are other victims, so maybe yes, she's claiming that Jimin has other victims. I know I've been talking for like an hour and 30 minutes, but honey, we ain't even started this shit, okay? We still got more to go. She says, and I quote, the police never contacted me and I never refused an investigation. I'm sorry, how stupid does this girl think we are? Your company that you were with literally told everybody that for the sake of your mental health, they turned out the police investigation. Now you're here telling us that no one ever approached you with a police investigation and you never refused it? Oh my, no, I'm not spending any more time with this. Number 5, evidence. This is gaslighting. Yes, Mina told us she had evidence. We asked for evidence. Now she's telling us that we're gaslighting her. I have never been a trainee before, and I thought that everyone was like this. I just thought that things would get better, and so I endured it. I have a few witnesses, and I also have evidence. Bitch, what the hell is this? In the same... Oh my God, no, this is so messed up. In the same letter, she's telling us that she has evidence. And now she's turning around and be like, I don't have evidence. She started by telling us that she had evidence. She said Jimin's side of the story didn't matter because she had evidence, correct? And then just recently, what I read to you in the previous paragraph, she goes, I don't have evidence. And it would have cost her $10,000 to get a lawyer, and it didn't matter because she didn't have evidence. Now she says, I have a few witnesses and I also have evidence, and I'm not a pathological liar. Yes, you are, sis. You literally are just lying back and forth in this letter. You see, this is why I said, I honestly, genuinely think she does not see this. I really don't think she sees this. Does she? How can you say, I'm not a pathological liar, I have evidence, but then turn around in the previous paragraph and say that I have, oh, Jesus Christ, I can't even do, oh my God, I'm getting stressed just talking about this. Why would Jimin just leave? Now, here's another interesting one. Why would Jimin just leave the team if she didn't bully me? But you said you never used the word bully and that it was all the media, was it not? Oh my God, I cannot believe this. Or maybe it's because you said her side of the story didn't matter. Or maybe it's because the entire world was bullying Jimin and cyberbullying her and they didn't want to hear anything that she had to say. Or maybe it's because every single time when people question your stories and your bullshit, you threaten to take your own life. So if Jimin had spoken on her side of the story and you ended up taking your own life, everyone would say that it was her fault. And now she turns around and like she has a bitchy personality. Are you seriously kidding me right now? The best you say you have evidence, and the best you've got that Jimin bullied you is because she left the team? I cannot, but oh my God. I'm just going to move on to where she said, I agree. Jimin never admitted to bullying. That's what I've been asking for. That she apologizes sincerely. I want her to admit that she bullied me and I want an apology. Mina, I did not say that the Jimin bullied me. Also, Mina, I want Jimin to admit that she bullied me. Jesus Christ, I can't deal with this bullshit. I can't. I cannot. And then she turns around and she says, Why are Elvis so aggressive in their statements? Are you ignoring my 10 years of suffering? No, we're not ignoring them, Mina, because that is all you ever talk about. So no, we can't exactly ignore it, even if we wanted to. We can't exactly ignore it. You know me from just my writings? Yes, Mina, everything we know about you is from everything that you post on social media. I know that I should have stopped after the first time, but you haven't been me. You have no idea what happened. Sis, you have so much time on social media to talk so much crap. If we don't know what happened, why don't you just tell us? Tell us what the hell happened. You say, we don't know what happened. Well, then tell us, girl. What the hell is stopping? No one's stopping you. She even accused Jimin and attacked her because Jimin made a typo in a statement. I know you're not sitting around and telling us that Jimin bullied you for 10 years and the best you've got to give us is a typo that she made. Oh my God. I cannot. She then I do have to clarify that she did apologize for exposing Jimin's private life and that she overreacted. And she said that even though I had no skills as an idol, I wanted to continue in AOA. Yeah, whose fault was it that you don't have skills? Who didn't go to vocal lessons that were organized for them? Who was busy skipping practice to go do a hair transplant? Who was having absolutely zero improvement over the 7 years of their career? Yeah, you have no skills, sis. And do you know whose fault that is? Yours. You're the one who didn't go training. That's no one's fault. So basically, all she did was just cry about the same thing over and over and over again. And then she talked about the boyfriend for like 3 seconds. And she says that some of it is my fault and I keep rambling. I know that I'm such a nobody and I do not deserve it. Now the pity party, which is another manipulation tactic. They will talk themselves down to make you feel bad. That I am a nobody. I don't deserve anything. I am pathetic. Blah, blah, blah. We can see right through this girl. We can see right through it. Don't even try. And then after that, she was just like, I'm sorry. I'm just going to go. Right? And then she made another post again, right? Of trying to justify her cheating scandal, saying that, well, it's not like I did drugs. It's not like I killed people. It's not like I cursed at someone. It's not like I bullied people. Like, girl, please stop. She said that she had intentions of taking the entire cheating scandal on herself, which is bullshit. And I'm going to prove that to you in a minute. And she said that she wanted to take all the responsibility. Right? And she was like, I can't believe that people are talking trash about my dad. Now, of course, Mina's dad may be an abusive psycho, but at the end of the day, people should not be speaking ill of the dead. But this is the same person who talked about Jimin's father dramatically croaked. Am I correct? Yes, she referred Jimin's father, who referred to Mina as his own daughter, has got her talking about he dramatically croaked. And so, you know, all the comments are flooding in, like all the K netizens are flooding her with comments like, girl, I don't understand why you're being, you know, getting so upset about your dad when you were talking about Jimin's father dramatically croaked. And now all of a sudden you're being so sensitive about all the other hate comments when all the other members have been getting far worse hate comments than you were. And she goes, I've never said that I was bullied. Again, with the, oh my Jesus, I cannot even. I only use the words bystander, aggressor, and bat. You've never been me. It's like living in hell. I'm suffering, so they should suffer more. Mina keeps saying that she wants an apology from Jimin, a sincere apology. And this goes to the stupid YouTubers, Shaprism or whatever, who was saying that Mina wants an apology for closure. Mina does not want closure. She wants AOA to suffer for being successful without her. That's what she wants. She's like, I'm suffering. They should suffer more. She doesn't want an apology. She doesn't want closure. She does not want to move on. She wants AOA to suffer. So now remember when Mina said that she apologized, in her apology post, that she felt, you know, the need to come and tell everybody the story of what really happened and how she would have, you know, taken responsibility for the entire scandal. Now, remember when I said that was bullshit? Okay, so here's the evidence. Now, for those of you who aren't aware, Mina ended up attempting to take her own life. According to the doctors and the medical team, not me, okay? Because I saw there were some people trying to be shady in the comments. It was the medical team that said Mina's scars were not life-threatening, okay? Mina didn't harm herself to the point where her life was in danger, okay? She didn't do that. So just to clarify there, that's not me. That was the medical team. You can look it up yourself. Or in fact, no, better one, I'll just give you screenshots. I mean, I do that all the time, right? There are the screenshots. It was the medical team that said that her injuries were not life-threatening. Okay? Now, let me show you how Mina planned this entire thing out, okay? Because Mina knew what she was going to do. And that's where the manipulation comes in. Now, here's the thing. I do want to clarify. I'm not downplaying Mina's mental health issues. She does have mental health problems. I mean, if she's doing this, clearly she has something going on with her. But this time around, she did this because she wanted to manipulate the boyfriend into taking responsibility for the entire scandal. Because she posted her apology and everybody saw that it was BS and they called her out on it. And now she was going to attack the boyfriend for it. Okay? He came out with a statement in which he said he was taking responsibility and he should have, been honest about everything and should have been more mature, which, duh. But then he said that his first apology was edited by Mina. He said his first apology that he put on the post when they were getting all this hate and stuff, when the ex-girlfriend came out with her story, said apparently Mina edited the post. And then Mina's company contacted him, a management company contacted him, asking him if they had broken up, and he said yes, and they recorded the conversation. Now, the boyfriend also mentioned that he got a lot of followers after this case, and he said that he mentioned his concerns to Mina that the followers were probably aunties who hated him and wanted to, ruin his life and stuff. But he says that Mina said it's not something to worry about, and that it's not something to worry about, and that it could be to his advantage. So gaining Instagram followers could be something he could use to his advantage in the future. Mina, of course, later on denied it, but honestly, I can't even say I trust anything that comes out of this woman's mouth at all. So he said that after he ended up giving a second apology, that this was my fault, I really shouldn't have, and so on and so forth, Mina contacted him and attacked him and saying that he didn't apologize to her directly, saying that you're not sorry, and that he was hiding. It's like, you apologize to everyone else but me. Where's my specific apology? This woman is obsessed with people apologizing to her. It's kind of a thing. And so he ended up just ignoring her text. And she kept sending him text after text after text after text. But one day, he then woke up on the day that Mina, he woke up to Mina's mother, who also now seems like a very big problem in this relationship. And that explains a lot. The mother she has, the father she had, I can't even, oh, Jesus, help me. This mother sent 20 pictures of Mina's surgery and photos of a bloody floor. She sent this to the boyfriend. This is her mother, who should be focusing on her daughter's well-being. And she's too busy taking pictures of those images and sending it to the boyfriend. What? Do y'all see why Mina's like this? I don't understand. In these messages, where they went back and forth, she was yelling at him and screaming and pretty much just rambling. So it's just one of the craziest things that's going on. So she went back and forth and she was sending him messages little by little, constantly attacking him. But there's a specific message that I want us to focus on. This first one is what she said: cheaters are the most shameless. Do you remember when I told you to hold on to the statement where Mina said that she's never dated a cheater? Why is she calling this man a cheater now? Because he needs to be blamed for everything. This girl is insane. I can't even. And she keeps with the messages, and she does not stop. But the final set of messages is what terrified me. She said, if you don't fix this with your own hands, you are going to see what happens to me because of you. Watch me carefully. Where are you? What did I do to you? You want to kill me? This is the last message she sent before she attempted to take her own life. Mina threatened this man and told him that if he didn't take responsibility for everything, she would take her own life. But the doctors are telling us that her injuries weren't life-threatening. Mina did this to get him to talk and to say everything was his fault. She's using her mental health issues to manipulate him. This is the Mina you're defending. This is the Mina whose behavior you're enabling. This is it. On July 31st, Mina ended up closing her entire Instagram account. And then within like a couple of weeks, she was back on social media again. After attempting to take her own life, within a few weeks, she was back on social media. Do you see how serious this is? Mina is mooching off of people's sympathy. She needs it to keep going. She's running on your sympathy. And that's why when the sympathy runs low and you take it away, she does drastic things to try and get that sympathy back. She's mooching off of your sympathy. She's doing this and she's back on social media now. It's just the most ridiculous thing on the planet. She needs that sympathy to keep going. Mina is dependent on the public sympathy. And do you realize how dangerous this is for her? Do you see how dangerous this is for her? Because one day all this public sympathy is going to run out. People are going to get tired. People are going to get bored. People are going to move on. People went from feeling sorry for Mina to absolutely being annoyed by literally her existence. Sooner or later, people are going to start ignoring her. What do you think she's going to do then? Mina doesn't need fans like you walking around and increasing her sympathy. And then Seolhyun started her YouTube, right? And within 6 days, Mina had deleted all of her posts again. And you know what happens whenever Mina deletes her posts? Everybody starts to freak out because they think something is about to happen. She's about to hurt herself. It's absolutely ridiculous. And now she wanted to show up on a YouTube talk show. Is it a coincidence that every single time one of the members does something, Mina always, for some reason, needs to do something else? Why is that? It's starting to get ridiculous. Mina is mooching off of you people's sympathy. She is running on sympathy, and no human being can run on that. You can't run on people's validation. Because one day that validation is going to go away. And if you're not strong enough to stand on your own, you're going to crash. That is exactly what's going to happen. Mina went as far as to try to take her own life. The hypocrisy that has been filled with Mina this entire time, people can't even see it. She's talking about how we are so not sympathetic to her problems. Yet she called Choa's depression a circus. She said that she was overly sensitive. And everybody was sick and tired and exhausted from Choa's behavior. This is what she's talking about? Calling all the other members bats? She went as far as to talk crap about Chanmi because Chanmi wasn't eating as much. You know the pressure that it takes to be an idol, right? She cries about how people was talking about my body, yet she was walking around and hating on Chanmi simply because when she was a trainee, she wasn't eating a lot. And I didn't hate Chanmi because she broke the door. I didn't like her because whenever she went out to eat, she ate so little. So I ran up to all the other members and I told them that this new trainee eats almost nothing. That's what? And then she runs around again calling her a bat. The same Chanmi who still, regardless, supported Mina whenever Mina was being told crap and people were talking crap about her and her body, and she simply defended her. Now she's calling her a bat. Jimin's father, who referred to her as his daughter. And now not only is she talking about he dramatically croaked, she is swearing on Jimin's father's life that Jimin is a bully. Disgusting. And she's talking shit about his funeral and complaining about his VIP funeral service. I don't know what on earth it's going to take for Mina Stans to get it through their heads. Mina's using all of you. She's manipulating you and y'all are buying it. You're buying into it because you have your own problems. The same people who have the audacity to walk around on social media and say that I have a problem with mental health issues because for some insane reason, they are not as romanticized anymore. Bullshit. You're the ones romanticizing this and you know it. The fact that you're okay with Mina using social media as a coping mechanism is the stupidest thing that I've ever heard. Yeah, you've been called, so I'm talking to you. That is ridiculous. So here you go. 2 videos, proof, evidence, facts. Now, as to whether you take it or not, that is up to you. But I spoke the truth. And just because you don't want to hear it, it's not going to make it change.